Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching the Newshour Special Edition with me, Priya Bahal. Over the last 48 hours, two videos have become our country's biggest talking points. One would think that they would come from the political sphere, given that we are in the thick of poll season. But ironically and extremely unfortunately, while it is about politics, the incidents have emerged from two schools. One in Muzaffarnagar in Uttar Pradesh and the other from Kathua in Jammu and Kashmir. Both incidents playing out on your screen right now. The first one happened 3 days ago when an 8-year-old child was repeatedly slapped for almost an hour by his own classmates on the instructions of none other than the now booked teacher Tripta Tyagi. His only fault, as per teacher's own admission, was that he couldn't recite the multiplication table. And while this punishment was being inflicted on him, the teacher was seen making communal utterances as well. And today, protests rock the Bani area in Kathua district in Jammu after a teacher and a principal thrashed a student of class 10 of a government school for allegedly writing Jai Shri Ram on the blackboard inside his classroom. But what is appalling is that the outrage that has been reserved for Muzaffarnagar seems to be missing in Kathua. But before we move on, let's listen in to what this minor boy in Kathua school had to go through.
मैंने उधर बोल दिया ऊपर जय श्री राम लिखा था उसके बाद
किसने मारा?
फारूक डॉक्टर ने प्रिंसिपल ने।
फारूक डॉक्टर क्या है
वो लेक्चरर है उर्दू।
और प्रिंसिपल ने मारा? क्या बोला आपको?
बोला कुछ नहीं ऐसे ही मतलब।
क्या बोला कि आपने जय श्री राम लिखा है?
हाँ।
और कौन था
उस वक्त जब मारा?
तो उधर बहुत से
किसी ने नहीं बोला। पहले बाहर मारा,
हाँ,
फिर अंदर ले गए।
हाँ, फिर ब्रांड मारते अंदर ले गए।
You heard that. They told him that if he dared to repeat something similar again, they would beat him black and blue, and they even threatened to kill him. Now, the FIR that has been accessed by Times Now details how this incident happened. The boy was taken inside the principal's room. This after the teacher had already, after being outraged over him just writing Jai Shri Ram on the blackboard inside the classroom, pinned him to the ground, beaten him, and then he was taken to the principal's room, which was locked, and then they both took turns in beating the child, so much so that he had to be hospitalized. The BJP is now asking why the opposition that had reserved its outrage for Muzaffarnagar is silent now.
The opposition parties of this country are making their mouth shut on the Bani incident while they are making hue and cry over the incident of Muzaffarpur. This shows that the so-called opposition parties of this country, they only want to divide this nation in the name of religion, in the name of caste, in the name of creed. This shows the double standards of this so-called political parties.
बीजेपी हमेशा मुद्दों को भटकाने में माहिर रही है। जब इनसे बात करूं मणिपुर की, तो ये बात करते हैं राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ की। चाहे मणिपुर हो और चाहे उत्तर प्रदेश का मुजफ्फरनगर, दोनों ही जगहें भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार रही है। विपक्ष की मांग है कि हर उस व्यक्ति पर जो किसी भी अपराध में लिप्त है, उस पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, on the other hand, UP minister has slammed the opposition parties for communalizing the Muzaffarnagar school incident. UP Minister of State Kapil Dev has said that the incident was not as significant as it was made out to be by those who were trying to draw political mileage out of it.
उसके साथ साथ चाहे राहुल गांधी हो, चाहे ओवैसी हो, चाहे अखिलेश यादव हो, जिस प्रकार से बहुत छोटे से विषय, छोटा विषय मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि मामला छोटे छोटे बच्चों का है। कक्षा 2-3 के बच्चे हैं, टीचर ने कहा तो बच्चों ने चाटा मार दिया। और इतना छोटा विषय था, जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने राष्ट्रीय विषय बना दिया। तो गांव का विषय था, उन्होंने हिंदू मुस्लिम जो यहाँ की बात कर रहे हैं, हिंदू मुस्लिम राहुल गांधी ओवैसी अखिलेश यादव, उसको राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर कर रहे हैं। यानी बच्चों को हिंदू मुस्लिम बांटने का काम कर रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, we are getting more developments and gory details of the extent of injuries that the minor boy, the class 10 student in Kathua, had sustained after he was beaten both first by his teacher and then by the principal of his school. Remember, while the teacher has now been suspended as well as arrested, the principal is still absconding. My colleague Pradeep Datta has spoken to some sources. He's now live with us for more details. Remember, this child was first beaten inside the classroom in front of all his classmates, and his crime, according to the FIR, was just that he had dared to write Jai Shri Ram on the board inside his classroom. Then his teacher did not stop there. He took him to the principal, and one would think that the principal would have taken note, taken objection to the behavior of the teacher, but no. They then locked the room. This is, I'm quoting the FIR, and then took turns in thrashing him. You see his testimony there. The boy spoke from the hospital. Such bad were the injuries that he had to be hospitalized, and then he went on to narrate. Let's once again listen in to what the boy has told from the hospital bed.
सर ने मारा मुझे, फिर घर वाले सुबह इधर ले आए।
क्यों मारा? किस साथ?
मैंने उधर बोर्ड के ऊपर जय श्री राम लिखा था, उसकी वजह से।
किसने मारा?
फारूक डॉक्टर ने, प्रिंसिपल ने।
फारूक डॉक्टर क्या है वो?
वो लेक्चर है उर्दू।
और प्रिंसिपल ने मारा? क्या बोला आपको?
बोला कुछ नहीं, ऐसे ही मतलब।
क्या बोला कि आपने जय श्री राम लिखा है?
हाँ।
और कौन था
उस वक्त जब मारा?
तो उधर बहुत से
किसी ने नहीं बोला? पहले बाहर मारा,
हाँ,
फिर अंदर ले गए।
हाँ, फिर डंडे मारते मारते अंदर ले गया।
डंडे लिए थे
ना, से लातों से,
लात भूसों से।
हाँ, उधर सर ने।
So the big questions now are, who is communalizing the classrooms? Who is sowing these seeds of hate? And are political parties acting out of expediency while not caring at all for the future of the children? Joining me now on the broadcast is Charu Pragya of the BJP. We have Sushil Pandit, activist, Ramesh Sabarwal, Congress leader, Atiq Rehman, political analyst. First of all, I would like to start with you, Mr. Sushil Pandit. What do you make of this?
This is really unfortunate. I feel little children are today bearing the brunt of hypocritical politics practiced in the name of secularism in this country. For the past 70 years, the kind of perversion that was perpetrated in this country in the name of secularism, sheer discrimination, double standards practice, vitiated the very political discourse. And now, when people are aware as to what kind of chicanery, dishonesty, fraud was committed on them in the last 70 years, it is manifesting in different unsavory incidents and events. It has really spread deep down, right down to the rural areas. And it has permeated the thinking, the attitude, even the language. It had to happen. Those who thought that they could vitiate our democracy, pervert the thinking, and practice double standards without these fallouts are now exposed, proven wrong. The country has to pay the price.
So who is this? Who is these people that you're referring to, sir?
See, who ruled this country in the last 70 years? Which was the political class? Do I have to really name it? I will name it. The secular politics of this country took us for a ride.
Okay, so I have two of my guests vehemently shaking their heads to that. Ramesh Sabarwal, whose hate agenda is this?
We are secular, our country is secular, our constitution is secular. Who knows that which religion I will get a birth? We condemn the incident of Muzaffarnagar. We should not politicalize the religion issues. We condemn. I'll give you an example in Muzaffarnagar. I went last month.
No, what about Kathua, sir?
Shiv Yatra.
We've heard a lot of condemnation for Muzaffarnagar.
The whole Muslims,
right from Rahul Gandhi to top leaders of other parties. Just a word about Kathua, if you could just bring in.
Absolutely. That is the perversion I was talking about. They only look at
Mr. Pandit, let him speak. Let him speak.
Ignore the other.
Maybe he has some outrage that has been reserved. Please, Mr. Sabharwal.
You have to
we condemn that also.
Okay.
We condemn that also.
And
schools and classrooms are not. Schools and classrooms are.
Okay, and sir, when Rahul Gandhi says that sowing the poison of discrimination in the minds of innocent children, turning a holy place like school into a marketplace of hatred for Muzaffarnagar, I tried scanning his timeline today. He hasn't reacted to Kathua. Who do you blame for poisoning the minds of these two teachers in Kathua? Straight question, straight answer. Mr. Sabharwal, please.
Yeah, classes are meant for studies. The colleges are meant for studies. We condemn the act which has been done in Kathua also.
Sir, kabhi to bina conditions attached ke condemn kijiye na.
Student should not.
Sir, my colleague Pradeep Datta has spoken to the inquiry officers there. They said this guy had been beaten, this child, 10th standard minor child had been beaten so badly there was blood in his urine.
Wrong.
Usme bhi aap if and but ke saath condemn karenge.
By two adults, grown-up adults.
The principal jo hai, by saying that, we condemn the action the principal has taken. Principal should not have beaten a child. They should have called him. They should have discussed with him. They should have called his parents if there is anything they want to say. This is not the way they can beat the child.
That does not sound like...
If he has written something on the blackboard.
And yet it almost looks like I had to extract that condemnation out of you, sir. Charu Pragya, classrooms are not meant for statements like these. While the fallout is condemnable, the act in itself should not have happened.
So, Priya, we saw that. It was not a condemnation, it was a moral lecture, and not a very good one at that. This incident did not happen today, Priya. Let me remind the viewers, it happened yesterday. It happened while the Muzaffarnagar video was viral. We condemned the incident in Muzaffarnagar and nobody has shielded the teacher. But do you know what happened yesterday? The top leaders of the Congress party, Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, were tweeting against the incident in Muzaffarnagar, lying about that incident, while today, while this video has gone viral one day later, only because of the outrage we raised about it, there's been not one tweet and not one genuine condemnation. The difference between the two incidents is also very stark. The incident of Kathua is a purely communal one. There is no way they can deny it. There is no way they can use any kind of words which can prove otherwise. The incident in Muzaffarnagar has been proved to not be communal, and this communal color has been introduced by the opposition to feed their own political interests. And I'll tell you why. The parents of the child have denied a communal angle. The person who was recording the video, who happened to be the chacha of the child, has denied a communal angle. The police has denied it, as have the neighbors. Former students of the said teacher have come on camera and said that the teacher was probably not being divisive on terms of religion. She was definitely saying that kids who go off with their mothers during school time and exam times, they need to be pulled up. Was her behavior correct? Not at all. Should she be punished? Definitely. Should we look into the way education is conducted in this country? Most definitely. But does that mean you divide everything and paint it either saffron or green? Not at all. And this is not the first time this has happened, Priya. Sadly, no. Congress and their allies continue to do this time and time
but
again.
Sadhi, no. But Pragya,
just before UP elections.
No. But let me hold you on. Let's stick to facts in every case. Let's stick to facts because I have the FIR in my hands. And while you say, and the teacher has also said that she was just obsessing about the student not having done some homework, it clearly mentions, and I will not read it. She has clearly made religious misreferences while
How the parents
inflicting
can-
that punishment. So the outrage is absolutely justified. The case that we are making
I'll
here
tell
is
you what
not
she has
that
said.
the outrage
No,
that
yes,
was
and I'll
triggered
tell you
by
what
that
she has said,
incident
Priya.
was not
I'll tell you
justified.
what she has said. No,
How the
and
classmates can beat another child?
Priya, can I
Yes,
make one
please.
clarification? And I have heard the video and I have rewound that video and I have heard it many times over. And maybe you could play it. What the teacher was saying, and I'll say it, okay? And please don't judge me for repeating it. ये मॉमडन बच्चे माँ के साथ मामा के घर चले जाते हैं. ये मॉमडन
No, but see, no, that's unnecessary. That's absolutely unnecessary. That is the problem.
That is wrong. That is wrong.
Yes.
I'm not justifying it.
Nobody
I
should.
am not justifying it. I'm not. Can I finish, please? Priya, can I please finish? This is very critical. Can I say this? So the reference she made to the religion was not done. It was not correct. But at the same time, if she was targeting a community, she would have targeted most of the students in her class because her class has more Muslim students than Hindu students.
No.
So please, can we keep politics away from incidents which should be looked at individually? And you are coming too late and not saying enough about the incident at Kathua. That poor child was on a hospital bed. You couldn't say anything. When you can tweet on one day, why can you not tweet on the second day? When you can condemn one incident, why can't you condemn the other? And I'm very clearly telling you, if the FIR of the child's father has filed and then he says that there is no communal angle, do you choose to believe him? Do you choose to believe the police, or should we choose to believe a political party which is deliberately inserting a communal angle, which they did in Aligarh also?
Atiqur Rehman, the defense that we have been hearing, or rather the attack that we've been hearing today, is that because BJP wanted to take attention away from something that had happened in Yogi and BJP ruled state, which is why they have dug up this instance. If that, what happens in UP's Muzaffarnagar is hate agenda that is being sown by the BJP, who is responsible for the hate agenda that is happening and playing out in the classrooms in Kathua?
Priya, that is why I have always maintained that the political class is the biggest liability on this nation. Let us depoliticize these incidents. These are purely communal incidents. Both are full of bigotry on the part of the teachers, whether it is Muzaffarnagar or whether it is in Kashmir, Kathua.
Okay.
Both are condemnable incidents. And Charu, we cannot believe you be the ruling party. You are defending the indefensible. How can you say the teacher was not communal if the mothers are committing, the parents are committing the sin?
What am I defending? Did you ask Rahul Gandhi if he is tweeted or not? I have tweeted for both incidents. Has Rahul Gandhi tweeted for both? Simple question to you. Direct.
No. Charu Pragya, let him finish.
Targeting me by name.
I'll give you ample time to counter.
My name.
Charu Pragya, let him finish.
He's asking me a question.
Yes, you will get time to answer. Let him finish his question. Please. This is not a classroom. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the simple argument is the educational rules do not permit the teachers to, use any sort of this punishment for the students. If the parents are committing a mistake, the principal and the teacher should punish or call the parents in question.
No, but whose parents have made a mistake? Are you talking about Muzaffarnagar or Kathua?
No, Muzaffarnagar, the parents were mistaken. If the teacher thought that going in the Mamu's house, the parents are responsible. As far as the Kashmir incident is concerned, the teachers are bigoted. Their minds are bigoted. We should not expect this from the teachers. The teaching community under no circumstances can beat up small students.
No, but sir, it doesn't look like it's limited to a teacher-student relationship or a corporal punishment kind of problem over here. This boy, Pradeep Datta, if you're still online with me, he's my colleague who's been tracking this story throughout. Do you think that if this boy had committed some other, flaw, okay, I seem to have lost him online, but let me finish that statement myself. I don't think that if he had probably forgotten to do his homework or said something else, he would have been thrashed as brutally as he was for writing Jai Shri Ram on the board. Am I wrong, Sushil Pandit?
Of course not. I think it's not only a case of disproportionate punishment. You look at a 15-year-old boy, 15, 16-year-old, a 10th standard boy is no older than that, and two middle-aged adult men pouncing on him behind a locked door, pummeling him with kicks and punches. This shows visceral hatred, viciousness. It is not just, punishment disproportionate to some kind of mistake committed. It is vicious hatred. And that hatred was in reaction to something he wrote innocuously, even if it was, let's say, a crime in their eyes. If a 15-year-old commits a crime of writing Jai Shri Ram on the classroom board, is this what you do to a defenseless child who's not even mature to know right from wrong? Even if you think it is wrong, is this what you do to a child who's left under your care by the parents?
No.
So this is wrong. And this communalism, this bigotry, which is very rightly pointed out by my co-panelist, it is pure bigotry. And this bigotry needs to be punished. This is manifested only in the behavior of these two men, but it's not confined to just these two men. Given half an opportunity, you will find a lot of such people, because in Kashmir, Jamaat-e-Islami has infiltrated the education system. They have been given jobs, employment as teachers under the patronage of successive governments in Kashmir. That is how entire generation after generation was misled into jihad in Kashmir. This is only superficial manifestation of that hatred and bigotry in Kashmir.
Atiq Rehman, you seem to be nodding your head. Please go ahead.
Priya, Sushil ji, I agree with you. But how can you say that only this teaching community and the student community is responsible? This incident, purely, you have to admit, I respect you a lot, that this is only in the 10 years, 2014 and counting, that the present day regime has made this bigoted elements into the schools. Since 70 years, we never, felt these things. We have been to these schools.
Charu Pragya, the genesis of this hate lies in the ascent of BJP to power.
I don't think, I don't think you have your facts correct.
Come on.
I don't think he has his facts correct.
Come out.
And if he'll not speak over me, I will give him some information.
Yes, please.
May I, please? So, when I interrupted Atiq Rehman ji earlier, I asked him very categorically, I condemned both the incidents equally. But does the leaders that he supports, did they do that? Did Rahul Gandhi tweet about Kathua as well? Did any of these opposition leaders, for that matter, this ... alliance people, did anybody bother to tweet about Kathua at all? They didn't. And this shows that the secularism that they talk about every single day is in fact pseudo-secularism. It is not secularism at all. It is a system which they have established for their vote banks, and this system works only on just dividing the country. And thankfully, today we have a government which has stopped the system of curfews in every alternate city, rights in every alternate city. Thankfully, we are out of that era. But it doesn't mean that the system has healed completely. It's going to take more time, and this is a very deep problem. It's a deep-rooted problem. If one Muslim teacher, along with a Muslim principal, come together to thrash a boy, a young boy who's only written Jai Shri Ram on a blackboard, the child goes to hospital and none of these so-called leaders can even speak out about it. I'm sorry, even Mr. Sabharwal on your show had a problem condemning the incident. Condemn it. Color it with whatever you want, but at least condemn it. Don't put if and but, because the way you're speaking, it's like for you, his life is not precious at all. The only thing that's important to you is an incident you can politicize and maybe gain a few votes out of. I'm sorry.
Mr. Romesh
India is awakened and India is rising, and we need to
Romesh Sabharwal, fingers are being pointed at the Congress regime. This hate is a legacy issue, as
I'll tell you.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll tell you. In both the cases, the way of punishment was wrong. The Kathua.
So wait. Let me hold you right there. Are you saying that writing Jai Shri Ram on the blackboard was punishable? Only the way of punishment was wrong.
No. What? No. The punishment. They should not have beaten him. They should not have beaten him.
Okay.
The principal and the teacher, they should not have beaten the child who has written something on the blackboard.
Sir, we know
If he has
that is
written
wrong.
Jai Shri
We
Ram,
both know that
they
is
should
wrong.
not have
Why didn't
beaten him.
Rahul Gandhi say
And
it is wrong? He
in
said
the first case,
Muzaffarnagar is
in the
wrong.
first
Why
case,
didn't he say
in
Kathua?
the
No,
first
Charu Pragya,
case-
let him speak.
Is wrong.
He doesn't interrupt.
I'm
He
not
does. No, no, no,
interrupting you.
Charu
I'm sorry.
Pragya, you.
I'm
I will.
sorry. Priya,
I will let you
We
counter.
know it is wrong.
I
We
will
know
let
it
you
is wrong. Why
counter.
doesn't
Let
he
him
tell
make
us
his
why Rahul
point.
Gandhi didn't talk about
Please.
it?
Please.
in the first case, the teacher should not allow these classmates to beat him. The way of punishment in both the cases were wrong. In both the cases, the teachers are responsible. We should not politicalize. And about
Sir,
Rahul ji, he will definitely tweet on this issue about
Yes.
Kathua.
Politicize one incident.
We are watching on that viral video.
But
We
you
are
did
finding
politicize
out.
one incident.
We will come back.
Sir, it didn't take that
did
long.
politicize one.
We are not-
Yesterday, when everybody was
We should not.
still reveling
will-
about the images coming from Chandrayaan,
condemn
it didn't take that long for Congress
Yeah,
leaders, for
teacher-
AIMIM chief, for Asaduddin
We will take
Owaisi
that.
to come out and write about this. In fact, if I could quote Asaduddin Owaisi to you, what he said yesterday, it was quite a long tweet and comment that he made. He said that why has Muzaffarnagar police not taken action? NCPCR, NHRC are otherwise quick to take suo moto action. Nobody is concerned. Yogi Adityanath, what happened to bulldozers? And Thokdo, this child is also a minor. This child is also a school student. I don't see any tweet, and I actually went on the timeline of Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi right for the last 12 hours. All he has done, he's just retweeted one post, no comments. He's just retweeted one information about incident that talks about, of a news article that talks about this incident in Kathua. At least 3 bytes and several tweets on the issue, nothing at all about what happened in Kathua. Mr. Atiq Rehman, you wanted to say something earlier, please.
Priya, can we take these two incidents out of the political this thing? You know, the clear message should be Sushil Pandit
No,
ji.
we can't,
that
because
it
Rahul
is
Gandhi
not-
tweeted about it. No, we can't.
Come on,
I'm sorry.
Charu,
Mr. Rehman, who took it into the political sphere?
Yeah. Let them
We can take it out of, which is why I started by saying that it is extremely unfortunate
No, can I
that this is political.
Priya, please.
Priya, let me set the right tone, and the right tone is neither Jai Shri Ram writing on the blackboard is bad, or nor any political slogans in a school environment. Now I vary if Charu will agree, if tomorrow some Muslim boy will write Allahu Akbar, she will say Allahu Akbar writing on a
She's right here. Charu?
The school is not a place for it. Charu, admit it.
Why would I say that?
No,
Why would I say that?
slogan is bad.
No, why would I say that?
Children.
Sir, you're
How do
assuming.
you assume to know me? How do you assume to know me, sir? Priya, can I come in, please?
Yes, Mr. Rehman, you made your point. I've got last
Priya,
1
I
minute
want
left.
to tell you
Charu
about the
Pragya, yes.
mentality of opposition leaders. Two very quick points. I want to speak about the mentality of the opposition leaders. The very same opposition leaders जहां पर अखिलेश यादव चंद्रायन के चांद पर पहुंचने के बाद चांद मुबारक ट्वीट करते हैं. चांद मुबारक ना मैं ईद पे बोलती हूँ. दुनिया के सारे लोग चांद मुबारक ईद पे बोलते हैं. वो congratulations इसरो ने लिख पाए. That is how bigoted their mindset has become. Unfortunately, only for a vote bank. Secondly, now Mr. Rehman conveniently says, let's keep politics out of it. Well, there was no politics in this at all. It was a sad incident, and both the incidents should have been condemned full stop. But when a Rahul Gandhi or a Priyanka Gandhi chooses to tweet about one incident and politicize it and completely forget about the second one, you have to remember that they are politicians who chose a child up in hospital to further their political interests.
In the last 30 seconds, let's take this out of political sphere. My colleague Pradeep Datta, who's been tracking the details of this case in Jammu and Kashmir since morning. Pradeep is now live with us on the broadcast. Pradeep, what do we know about the health of this child? What do we know about as irrefutable facts about this case, and also counters with facts of the allegations being made that this mentality of hate based on religion is only has found its genesis in the last 10 years?
People are, especially our politicians, they are looking at things with the communal glasses. This is not something to be looked at with What has happened that since yesterday we've seen that not a single tweet, not a single message had been there from the opposition party side. If we talk about this particular student, he has got the internal injury. He passed blood with the urine yesterday. His arm was swollen. Has also got the injury in the eardrum also. So doctors have been treating this boy. Now the second thing is that the principal is supposed to be a protector. Whatever the reason, he can't assault a boy. And the second is that when we talk about the teachers are there to build character of the student, because at the end of the day that leads to the nation building. See what kind of teacher with a mindset we have got. And equivocally, we need to condemn what happened in Muzaffarnagar, what really happened in Bani. But unfortunately, what is happening is that I have been hearing to all the panelists, you have been trying to extract that condemnation from them wholeheartedly. They are not speaking against what really happened in Bani. At the end of the day, he is also a student. What really happened in Muzaffarnagar, that person was also a student. So we need to speak for the student what kind of a foundation stone we are going to lay when we have got such netas who call themselves to be the representative of the people. But instead of speaking for the people, what they are trying to do, they are trying to politicize the issue. I think that's not a right thing. They are also setting a wrong precedence. And the teachers, whether in Muzaffarnagar or whether in Bani school, they have also set the wrong precedence, not the right example for the student to follow. If they have to lay the foundation stone of a school, they have to ensure that moral character building and nation building go together, and they can't just resort to beating.
And the example has to be set by those who are in leadership positions. Now, you cannot decide your outrage and anger based on religion or the party in power. Thank you, gentlemen, and Charu Pragya for joining me. We take a very quick break.